it should be sharing now. I was just checking out the market for I don't know. It's a bit weird actually. I was
Yeah, I can see
expecting
it.
I was expecting when Trump signed the piece of paper that something would have happened, but it looks like actually like if we go to the Bitcoin press, the kind of the pump in Bitcoin came. Oh, this usually happens, I guess. It came before he actually signed the paper, and then once he signed the paper, the cooled off. So it went, it rallied from 101,000 up to what 106. That was prior to him
Well,
signing. It's about
that's
3 hours before he
because
signed it.
the Bitcoin deal was different than what he signed about all of cryptocurrency. They've been talking about doing a strategic Federal Reserve of Bitcoin for a long time. What they
Yeah.
plan on doing is buying 200,000 Bitcoin each year for the next 5 years. So they own 1 million Bitcoin.
Oh, that's my plan as well. That's pretty good. Okay.
What is it? There's only 21 million, right? Isn't that like 5% of the supply or something like that?
Yeah, it's a lot. Well, let's check it out. Yeah, there's max supply is 21 million. Total, current supply is 19 million. So yeah, that's quite a lot of Bitcoin. Yeah.
Yeah, they want to own 1 million Bitcoin over the next 5 years.
See, that's really great in short term for us. We're here, and they're going to be buying the Bitcoin, which is great. But I mean, long term, that's awful decentralization. So it will probably rally in a lot of
the thing
other
is,
projects.
Other countries are going to be doing the same thing, and Trump's trying to beat them to it because other countries are already starting to try and hoard their own crypto. So he wants to beat them to the game.
It's going to lead, but eventually, if you can imagine in 5 to 10 years, if we live in a world where the largest countries and most powerful individuals in the world have a monopoly, an even larger monopoly on the amount of Bitcoin. Of course, it's going to moon the price short term to prices I can't even fathom how expensive it's going to become. But we will also be victim to the price movement of it, right? No longer will the community be able to control anything to do with Bitcoin. So it's a double-edged sword.
It'll probably just switch over to a different blockchain. Something else will probably be the new people's crypto, and Bitcoin will remain basically like gold, I guess.
I guess it'll be interesting to see which one takes the slot then.
SUI Trump, obviously. I mean,
well, yeah, but well, we're a community, but in terms of being, the payment and world changing currency, that's I can't really think any meme, even the Trump meme or Shiba or anything can achieve.
SUI sounds like a good one because it is not a cap. It is a capped supply. Solana has the ability to print more. SUI is capped, even though it's going to
actually.
There is a capped supply, so that's one good thing about SUI, at least.
Yeah, that's what's great about most meme coins. The supply is 100% minted on launch. They have, that means that the only thing you can do with it is burn it. You can't mint any more with them. That's why people like memes. It's the simplicity of it, right? Don't have to get into the complexities of mining or inflation or anything like that. Yeah. So I think it will be usually with these kind of news announcements, though, there's a sell-off following the announcement because people expect the world to change immediately, and it doesn't. And then the pump will come, I think, quite soon after, though. I think things are going to get very heated very soon. It's going to be excellent.
Yes, this is definitely bullish. I've been keeping up on all the news, and no one's worried. This is expected. They're just seeing what's going to happen, and that it's not some sort of trick. And then FOMO is going to hit real quick, and everything's going to start to spike probably in the next couple of days.
Yep. So get your bags packed, guys. That's even SUI as well. Almost down into $3.
Exactly.
That's lovely. I like
So
rent
it's a
days
great
actually.
time to buy. You probably want to get SUI first at its lowest price, and then once SUI goes up, you can use that to buy things within SUI, like getting more SUI Trump.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, Sui's almost at the lowest price it's been all month. Wow. 3 month is still
I
nowhere
think
near
I'm
low.
gonna,
But yeah.
I think I'm gonna convert all my Litecoin into SUI right now. Then that I got from the casino.
Casino.
Yeah, they. I don't even play anymore, but some poker. But Stake.com will keep sending you money for 3 months without even playing. You get a weekly and a monthly, but don't
Wow.
gamble, anybody. I'm not recommending gambling. I play poker only because it's a skill game. But
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm terrible at poker. I was being asked to the Chinese New Year's coming up, so I was being asked by my business partner. He's Italian, and he loves poker. He was trying to convince me to go to. There's an island in China called Macau, which is the
Oh
Vegas of
yeah.
Asia, basically. And he was trying to convince me to go there for 5 days, and I told him that's the worst idea I've ever heard.
I'm
'Cause-
fairly good. I'd say I'm an intermediate player. I know how to play Omaha also. And on Stake,
okay.
they just started doing poker on Stake, and they don't really play good on there at all. So, oh, they also have 4 days, 4 times a day, they have free rolls, absolutely free to enter the tournaments, and you could still win money. It just doesn't pay as much as a tournament that costs money, but it's totally, absolutely free to enter. But don't gamble, guys. I'm not recommending it, please. We're just talking.
Yeah. So this is
Memes are already a gamble.
so Furley, this is your first time being a host, is that right?
No.
No? Okay.
Well,
Good.
for
Yeah.
this Telegram, yes. I actually hosted AMAs through Telegram for some other projects I was helping out for Swerfs and for Dogfin.
Okay.
And I didn't put all of them on my YouTube. You know, I didn't really think they were worth it because some of them were pretty short. So
Yeah.
what is it? 6:10.
Yeah. We can start whenever you want to start. How about that?
Okay. Well, welcome everybody. This is the AMA that, you know, if you've seen Richie's most recent YouTube video, me and him did an AMA with another Telegram group. And although it went well, it didn't really seem as like a legitimate of a Telegram as we were hoping. So I told him, why don't we just do our own? And it would be easier that way because then we could just be in total control of it and have better internet. Who was that?
It's
Hello?
Brian. It's Brian. How are you guys doing today?
Awesome.
Hey, Brian.
I really love this project, to be honest, to be sincere with you guys. I love everything going on. And I would really like to have you guys on my commission to have some great talks more about your project because my community is from the European part of the world. That would really be interesting to hear about this Trump. So who can I DM for that, please? We don't charge
Um,
anything.
I think you DM me, right? I'm just looking through. Sorry, Brian. I've had like 100 DMs from different accounts in the past 24 hours, actually. Yeah, I just found you. Let me,
Yeah.
Brian, I
I'll
think we
connect.
might be interested if it was totally free of charge. We're not
Yeah, yeah.
paying
It's
for any
bro,
type of
bro, bro. You
appearances
know,
or things like that.
I don't just offer AMAs. I offer contests. It's a big bias contest. People's gonna hold your token for a very long time. And we
Well, we
just
can
do
talk about that. We can talk about that in a DM with Richie because this is for information for the members right now. It's not to talk about
all
other
right, all
offers
right,
or
all
things
right.
like that.
I've done that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Brian, I've got your DM now. I'll message you about it. We can see if we can set something up. I just have to check through your channel and see if it aligns with Sui Trump, right? Is the idea. The infinity calls, that's the right one, right? Oh, he must be gone. He's off. Cool. Yeah, so actually on that note, so yeah, like since we listed on CoinGecko, so we listed, which is great. Everything worked perfectly for that actually. So we got the volume that we needed from the Raven X competition and also the community. Some of our community members were fantastic. They were making big trades to highlight the volume on SUI Trump because they told me that everything else hit properly for the project. Our submission was okay. The information that I all gave was fine. The branding was fine, all that. It was just that our volume was too low on the CETUS decks for them to consider putting us in. So all we needed to do was spike the volume, and it worked perfectly. The Raidernets competition, community members trading a lot of SUI Trump. We hit our highest ever volume, and then they greenlit us. So now we've got that one knocked out, which is great because it was took a couple of months actually to get it done. But when we listed on CoinGecko, what happened is there must be somewhere on this for contacting through, you know, contacting the dev must be something inside of CoinGecko for this, because I just started getting crazy amounts of DMs, like ridiculous ones. Like if you can see, it's just blowing up. Like so many, I can't even get through to answering every single one of you. You see the amount of unreads I have? These are only from Wednesday. Like it's just
Yeah, I've noticed the same thing on my DMs as well. It's quite I think once just people see us posting that kind of stuff on x.com, they start flocking in, you know.
Yeah, and that's great.
The fact that we were having our Telegram AMA within our Telegram also probably brought in a lot more messages too, I'm sure.
Possibly, but well, the thing is, because I've been in crypto for so long that and it's not my first project launch. It's my first token launch, but I've launched NFT projects and you know, ROI style games and things on in crypto before, and also worked with, you know, when I began, I was a moderator for Drip, and I worked as a moderator for what was some other projects I was doing. For a guy called Crypto Craig as well, who is missing now. But I got kind of used to the way that it works. Like you get a wave of, as soon as you list somewhere, you start getting a wave of DMs from snipers, essentially, is what I like to think they are. So they're waiting for any listings. So if, for example, if we listed on CoinMarketCap, the same thing would happen again. There's people who are sitting watching CoinMarketCap, watching for new listings. As soon as one pops up, then they're going to fire into to try and grab that token. Some will have very good intentions because they just want to grab something that's new and possibly hyped, bring it to their channel and grow their own channel, which is perfectly fine. Whereas others will run a malicious style campaign. The ones that I've noticed in the past, of course, are pay me for the AMA, and then they do the AMA and then it's can be botted or something. Other ones they do is don't pay me for the AMA, but we'll do a question competition, right? But then, of course, who wins the question competition? Possibly alt accounts of the Telegram group, right? Very smart. I've seen this one before. And then, yeah, the biggest buy one is probably the most natural one, but then you don't know at the same time, are they just going to buy a lot of the token, win the prize, then sell the token back? Because we have no tax on trading, so it could also work like that, right? So there are many kind of schemes that these Telegram call groups will use to try basically get paid by saying they're not getting paid. So I'm very aware of this. So it's part of my due diligence to go through every single one of these groups and watch them for a little while, watch them for a couple hours and see how their engagement is, what other projects have they been covering, how often do they cover projects and these kind of things. Because I don't want to waste my time. You know, AMAs takes like an hour, 2 hours of my time to go in and do all this, and then it's got to be the right ones for us, right? They're actually going to build real token holders, and real community members are going to find us who are interested in the project and believe in what we're doing.
Yeah, I was thinking about something like that for our main chat, because it's getting kind of out of hand with how many people are constantly coming in and asking about this and that, about advertisements. We might need to be more strict with the filters on who can speak. Maybe a limitation. I don't know how that works, but
yeah, it's like yesterday's pretty funny story. So yesterday I had a Chinese guy contact me saying that we are unknown in the Chinese market, which is true, right? And we need to get into the Chinese market. Chinese market has huge whales, and the buying power of the Chinese market is greater than even the USA, the usual stuff, right? So I said, okay, well, what can you do then? And he said, well, I can open you a Weibo, which is Chinese Twitter, basically, and I can open you a WeChat, which is Chinese WhatsApp. I said, okay, well, I can also do that if I wanted to. He said, oh, I'll do it, though. I'll do it. And then I'll get you trending top one in the Chinese charts and everything. So I said, all right, so, okay. So what do you charge? Let's get down to numbers. He said, I want $1,600. I said, wow. Now, I live in China, so I know the value of $1,600 in China. The average wage in China is around about $400 to $500 a month in most cities. If you go to Shanghai, of course, it's higher. But so it's at least a 3-month salary for opening up social media accounts. So I was like, okay, well, it's a lot of money, but if you can do it well, I could consider it. And then I asked him for some references. So then he sent me some screenshots of different projects that he's worked for. And I don't think he expected me to do my due diligence and check out, his work. So I found the projects that he worked for prior, and then I found their telegrams, and then I found their dev of a couple of the projects that he'd worked for before, and basically asked them how was his work. They told me he's a scammer, and so I went back to him.
He posted the link to the telegram in the chat.
Did. Where is he?
I figured you would tell me about that before posting.
Well, I was still discussing with them, right? So I was still talking with. Here he is. So now you can see over here. I'll hide the other one. So you can see here now that I've told him already, I'm not interested, right? And then from there, it's just been continued. When do I start? When do I start? Incoming call, incoming call. I've got references. But yeah, like this guy. Yeah, he sent me this project, Budbot.
That's kind of like the guy that keeps messaging me about the new Bitcoin blockchain or something like this.
Yeah, but this is completely malicious though, because his price went down. His price went from $1,800 all the way down to a couple hundred, right, for doing the same service. So he's just milking communities who don't understand how crypto works, essentially. So I am looking actively for new AMA places to go and do them, but I want to do them in places which I know are genuinely, real places to do an AMA. It's important.
We got a good community. You guys, everybody keep an eye out. Find some actual quality AMAs to participate in and do your vetting process for us and give us suggestions.
Exactly. Yeah, because it is important to get to new communities. We're very much in a bubble for our, our community of DeFi, I think, and a lot of people that I know, most people I know personally from my channels, reach, and other influencers who have covered the project. Like I see we have Moonshot Max in here as well. We have a reach, but the reach that we have, we need to expand it into further areas. So
that's why I'm learning how to use Discord more and TikTok. I plan on working on that. Yeah. Plus I have the X Spaces Live Telegram and Reddit. So I'm going to be looking into getting to more X Live Spaces, soon also. And, the community can help with that also.
Nice.
So I think maybe since there's probably a lot of people here, it would be good to just maybe start from the beginning again about how we made the coin and all that and the whole thing with that. It'd be nice to hear again. That was probably one of the funnest things in my entire life, was watching it go from pre-bonding to almost 1 million. So that's a pretty fun story.
Yeah, well, I launched SUI Trump from making a tutorial video on my YouTube about Move Pump, and I wasn't expecting to do anything past showing how to launch the coin. I didn't expect it to bond or anything, and it very quickly bonded. It was kind of a running joke in the Crypto Mischiefs chat, my YouTube channel's chat, where I was saying, you know, if we get to 25% bonded, I'll make a X account. If we get to 75% bonded, I'll make a website for it, and kept bonding. And then it was out, and then it launched on Dex Screener, and the price just went mental. That was really fun, very fun. Like about a week from bonding to hitting around about $1 million market cap. It was really great. And then from that point,
I was super lucky. I felt to be online. I was watching you do all that, and I saw you post it like the second you did, and I was like, I'm getting some right away. I think I got it at like 6K market cap, like right when you posted on Move Pump, but I only had like $10 for that purchase.
Yeah, but it's possible. Like what you were telling me before, you started with a small bag, and then you've been choosing the right projects and finding the right time for entry, and you're growing like a really nice position inside of SUI, right?
Oh yeah, I showed you. I've been showing you my progress tracking on Inside X. Has been amazing. I mean, it's crazy. It's not a big amount, but for me, and the percentages have been amazing. Because me joining a project with what we're doing here, like I can get more people to join in because I'm a part of the moderation team. So it's kind of like an advantage just by being associated with someone as honest as you.
Yeah. So then from the bonding point, I had a couple ideas when we first launched. I remember we first tried to just make partnerships with meme coins. The first one was this one, Suimon, which was pretty tricky partnership because almost immediately after we went with them, they ended up way back here. They ended up rugging, but then the community took it over and it got back to normal. But it was a big lesson in who to pair with, who to not pair with, right? So then I thought, well, there must be a better way to attract partnerships with other memes, and it would have to be by building utility for SUI Trump. So that's when we decided to just get the job done, start the job, and start building our farm out to try and attract other meme coin communities to SUI Trump, and also to reward our holders in a pretty fun way with the farm build. So that's been the main focus this past month, and also this month as well, because we successfully now have built the DEX, which is working on testnet, and the token swaps, the fee distribution, liquidity adding, liquidity removal, slippage, all of that's been finally fixed and working properly now, which is great to see. So we're now moving on to the last
This is
stage.
really great because it's the number one question I get constantly. The farm, when's the farm? How's the progress of the farm? Constantly about the farm. So this is great.
Yeah, you can see here. So this is just as we just made some test tokens. This is on Sway DevNet, and we're just swapping between SUI token 9, SUI token 7, and they just swap seamlessly. Add liquidity, swap tokens, and this way. So I'm very happy that this is all working as designed now, and we just need to. The UI team is going to be tweaking the UI, but the UI is the last thing you need to fix. Really, the main thing is the core contracts in the back end. So now the dev team is finished with the DEX. Now the last part of the work they need to do, which is the final installment, that I paid them yesterday actually for the next stage, which is to get the emission sorted for the farm. So now the emission contract for Victory and the how to supply your liquidity into farm, earn the emission coin, and the whole mechanics of that, and how it burns SUI Trump will all be finished. So that's the final stage they need to work on. So I'm in two minds.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
That people ask me all the time that I want them to understand also is, when you created this coin for Move Pump, how did you allocate the original coins and the developer wallet, and what did all those coins go to, and what are they continuing to go to, and is it on public display, and
Let's see.
what are you doing with the ones that you purchased yourself, and all that transparency stuff, because I know you're totally legit and transparent. So if you could explain it in a way that I don't know how to explain it as good as you can.
So that's also kind of funny, because when I made SUI Trump, I didn't actually make a allocation for myself, because what you can do with Move Pump is when you launch the token, you can say, okay, I'm going to keep 10% of the supply, something like that, right? I didn't, because we were just making it as an example, so I wasn't really thinking about it. So then after we started bonding, I had to start also buying up the supply with my own money to try and get the correct percentages that I wanted to have. So on our website, we have the supply on launch. This is the launch amount that I managed to buy up before it fully bonded. So we had 12%, which was for the sex and marketing, which is in this orange banner, and then 5% for the team and the SEC DAO. So from this 5%, then what I did was I airdropped half of it to the SEC, which is our NFT membership club. This happened about 2 months ago, 2.5 months ago, something like that. And from that one, I think they're still in here. Let me see. I keep them basically in 2 wallets. I'm on DebtNet again.
Yeah, so for people to understand, like you still paid for these with your own money, like you were an outside investor.
Yeah.
You were not allocated to you. So that's like something that people need to understand this.
Yeah, so from the team, there's 138 million tokens here. And then if we come to Cetus, I have a couple large liquidity positions with them as well. They're the ones I play around with because, it's team. Essentially, they're mine, but no interest in making any transactions that are negative to the price of Suitrump with them. So I just I supplied most of them in liquidity also. So they're kind of just sitting here earning fees. So there's another.
And it's correct. You have not sold a single coin from the starting of the project, right?
No. And here we have another 205 million. Suitrump is forming liquidity. This just forms a liquidity floor for it. So when we were pumping up in price, this pool went up to about $40,000, which is nice to see. It generates fees. Either I claim the fees and put it back in liquidity, or I claim the fees and use this to just buy more Suitrump and just continue to build up more. It's good because then I have a balance of liquid Suitrump here that I can use for sending out to other people, saying thank you for work, for example. Our AI genius, the Road Crypto, is really doing some great things with our Trump AI service, and we're talking about expanding that even further. So every now and again I'll just send them some Suitrump. And then in the marketing wallet, which is the one we use for airdrops, which is this one, we still have quite a lot. Of course, we've been sending it to airdrops, but we have.
That's another question I have. That you sent me that million for the promotions I'm doing on Reddit and X Spaces. So where did that come from?
That came from the marketing wallet. So that's from here. So there's 967 million Suitrump in here, which would be, if you take out the 50 million that we've sent 3 times, there's 150 million Suitrump. And we'll be sending another 69 million Suitrump from here as well. This also would be going to community member rewards and these kind of things. So, and the idea, of course, holding all of this is I could lock it, but what eventually will happen is we're going to need to have liquid Suitrump to be able to send to DEXs to reward them to use in the market maker. For getting listed on centralized exchanges. And this is what this is for. This is for sending to centralized exchanges so that we have liquidity in the exchange so that Suitrump can be traded. So that's...
Yeah, and you know how these things work, and you know what we're going to need. As long as I think the people want to see is that you're transparent and where they're going, where they're coming from. And I've kept record of what I've been giving out to people from Reddit and stuff. So...
No, this is important because we need liquid asset Suitrump to use in the centralized exchanges. We need to give them cash first, which costs The ones I'm looking at are roughly 20 grand to get listed on these exchanges. And then we also need to give them a substantial amount of SUI Trump to then enable the liquidity for the trades. And we, of course, here I say sex and marketing, but I don't have any inclination to, it's really backwards to think, oh, I'm just going to sell the SUI Trump token to pay for marketing, because it doesn't make any sense. Then I'm just going to dip the chart, make other people's investment worth less, gambling on the fact that I think that the marketing will pull off and then we're going to be able to, make it big later. It's not really my style for how to run a business. It's the best way to do it is to deploy the liquid funds into a centralized exchange to offer liquidity so that people can trade it. Like this is the smart thing to do.
Plus, people need to realize you have your own YouTube channel with 30,000 subscribers and a 4-year history of integrity and crypto genius knowledge about all crypto. So it's like, why are we going to pay for marketing when we have like your own free in-house powerhouse promotional tool of a YouTube channel? It's like,
yeah, I mean, silly. We have other ways to pay for marketing as well, which is, you can make money for money in crypto. It's it's not impossible. Like if I come over to VFAT here, like these are my own personal funds, but it's just crypto that I have sitting in my wallet, and then I deploy it into liquidity pools. So this is over on base chain, for example. So say, for example, we have something that we do want to pay for, right? For example, the farm build, right? Farm build is costing roughly, I think it's $28,000 to $30,000 to build the full functioning launched farm, right? And to do that, like, I don't want to sell any SUI Trump to build the farm, because that's just not, like I explained, it's not a smart move. So the only other way to do that is, I mean, someone needs to be paid for it, right? So what I do is I just set up liquidity pools across different hot pairs, and they farm yield. I combine the yield into a pot, and then I just send it to the developers who want to get paid. Of course, it means that I'm not losing my funds, because I'm earning the fees from the funds. At any point, I can just take my funds back, but then the fees that have been earned, I can then use for paying for such things. This is how I manage myself, basically.
Yeah, and then the most important thing is you can still continue to say you have not sold one SUI Trump coin to pay for anything in the project. That you've been doing it through your own crypto knowledge and expertise that most other developers don't even know how to do. There's so many people launching coins. I know this from experience. I've been invited to be a moderator of projects that I'm ready to help, and the dev doesn't even know what to do. And I'm like, I can't moderate your project into success. You have to do your part too. I know I come from a crypto genius project, but I can't make your project be successful by being a moderator. You got to do your part also.
Yeah. For example, here's one pool. This is with this is a bit high risk, but it's with AIXPT, which is a virtuous protocol coin on base chain. The price, of course, of ETH has been on a big dip. This usually is worth about $4 grand. And it earns generally about $100 to $120 a day, right? The moment the rewards are way down, generally the APR is up in the 2000s for this. And I've just paired this up in concentrate liquidity, farms fees, and then it's just free money to use for marketing of different things. So that's an example of a way that a developer can be smart about his project, because what's the point? What's the point of making a coin and then just wanting to profit from it from other people? It's a horrible, horrible existence. I don't understand it, to be honest, but that's just, I guess, what I'm comfortable doing.
That's a big advantage that I keep telling everybody over and over, is that we have a unique situation here because you are a successful crypto YouTuber. You have other successful crypto projects. You can pay for these things like the farm. You have the ability to fund them using cryptocurrency and not using the project. It is something truly unique where I have spent literal days researching other meme coin projects with any of these type of details or advantages, and I could not find one. I even challenged people on Reddit. Can you show me a coin more legit than these details? And not one time have ever been able to do it. So we truly have something unique here.
but that's, marketing is marketing though. Take, this one shot like a while ago, right? Tardy. So the benefit of having, like, it's different. I don't know anything about how they launched and how their team handled their business, by the way. I haven't looked into them at all. I'm just thinking about the kind of the downturn that they've seen since explosive launch, and then a downturn. Still 5.5 million market cap, right? But it means that they've had serious funding from the beginning, right? Of some form of marketing has been put in place before the launch of the project, I'm assuming, to be able to list so quickly on the centralized exchanges and really rocket the price, building high volume. I'm sure they're here as well.
Well, that's another point that I say in the Reddit when I ask people. I'm talking about as far as this point in the project and this market cap, because Tardy is already, a monster. But as far as a market cap coin that we have at this stage in its development, there's no comparison at all, as far as I know.
Yeah, but I can't think of any. We're the best coin. For sure. Yeah, so that's how I see it. Eventually, with my whole idea is once we get SUI Trump up to $5 million market cap, then it means once we hit $5 million market cap, for example, the funds that I've been caring for and making sure that are great for our marketing wallet, right? That I've been making sure to be very frugal with and not wanting to waste them, because once we do hit into the millions of dollars of market cap, it means that 12% of the supply, right, isn't, it's not small money anymore. It's gigantic amounts of capital that can be deployed to support and reach this project out to many more people. And there's absolutely no point using any of it in any way at the moment, unless that'd be, if we hit 5 million market cap, for example, that's hundreds of thousands of dollars, which can then be deployed for paying for the trending on Deck Screener, or the getting huge marketing, huge calls on board, these kind of things. But at the moment, there's no reason to do that with the small cap project. It's just eating your own hand, is how I kind of think about it.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, as long as you're transparent about what you're using them for, that's all the people need to see.
Of course.
You trust. You're a crypto genius. You've done these things for so long. You know what makes them work. You know what's important. So we know, or at least the people that know you and trust you, we know you're going to use them for the best thing possible for the project. And you're not using them to profit your own pockets. You're using all those coins to grow the project only, because
I don't know if I'm a genius though. That's
I think you are. You're a genius.
Nah. We've all made bad decisions in DeFi. That's for sure.
All geniuses have made the mistakes. Being a genius doesn't mean you're incapable of making a mistake. That's how you become a genius.
So I don't know if we had any. Yeah.
I remember just watching that AMA with Swarm and the comparison between projects and babies or children. So I tell that just listening and watching and how you've been performing, that you really care about this project like your own child. Like this is your first child, basically, and you've been such a great parent, and it's just phenomenal just watching you do what you're doing.
Yay, Brett.
Thanks, Brett.
We finally spoke up. Yeah, that's another one of our main moderators, and he's a good buddy of mine. He didn't come from the NFT club or previous crypto mischief, meetings or any projects. We met him through SUI Trump, I believe, but he's become a good friend of mine that I've talked to more than anyone else, and he's a great guy, and I keep telling him he's going to get an NFT soon for sure. And it's nice to finally hear him talk.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that was a great chat I had with Yannick yesterday. Anyone who's listening now who didn't check that out, I suggest you do. He's building on SUI, and it's a AI agent project but unlike any AI agent project I've seen before. He has huge experience. He's backed by Google, previously backed by NVIDIA, worked in Coca-Cola, worked in Mercedes, and was the founder of a project from about 3 years ago called Delicium, which was the first ever AI crypto project to take off. Delicium hit over $1 billion market cap at its all-time highs. He then left Delicium to then start his own project called Swarm. What he's doing is building, he's offering the opportunity for a user to buy a license to then deploy multiple AI contracts without code through their building network. So imagine you are an ant, essentially in an ant hive of AIs, and you would be able to own the license to use your own AI to build whatever you dream, with code or without code. You have the different options. So I was having a discussion with the Road Crypto, who does our AI Trump bot, which we're almost about to launch, actually. I decided to use a VPS for it. A VPS is a virtual private server, so I have one with Contabo. It's essentially a supercomputer in Holland. At the moment, he's hosting the AI agent that we've built on his own personal computer, and running into problems, of course, because using your computer and then for running your own AI, but then you have to do other things with your computer. So we're going to begin hosting it on its own private server, where then we'll be able to launch the Trump AI on Telegram, in our Telegram group, in multiple Telegram groups, and it will run autonomously as it is right now on Twitter. And then I was telling him about what this Swarm can do, and I'm going to get a license for it, and we're going to try and see how deploying the SUI Trump AI onto Swarm works as well. There's a couple of reasons for that. The first would be, of course, we're using a SUI building platform to run our AI. I've already had personal conversations with the dev of Swarm, so then once I get the license sorted and we launch it, then I'll introduce them to it, and we might be able to get some nice cross marketing going with that. You know, because I think we tick all the boxes, right? We are a meme coin on SUI. We're an honest project. We're also building. We're here. We're listed on CoinGecko. We're verified on CETAs, and now we're using a SUI run AI service to continue to improve our bot. So I think it ticks all the boxes for cross promotional promotion with
I totally agree too, because you know, I love AI, and I was actually in that private Telegram, and I started messaging Yannick and the Olive from the project, telling them about some spam messages in the chat that I thought they should be deleted because they were scams and stuff. And I just got to talking to both of them, and I ended up making a subreddit for the project. And Olive said that she would like to even have me help them with their marketing, and I was really surprised by that. And even Yannick mentioned Mr. Furley in your video, and I was like, oh my gosh, the dev just mentioned my name. I thought I'm like, I'm famous now. I was mentioned by Yannick. I thought that was good.
Yeah, you can see here they're funded by Google, funded by Zero Stage, funded by Fireworks. Previously funded by NVIDIA. They said they have some more partnerships to announce coming out. So I think this will be great. And the discussion I was having with the Road Crypto is quite interesting. The the idea we were kind of going back and forth about was that it's like, what was it? So he'd been kind of working on the same concept of having like a hive mind AI, because that's essentially what this is. It's building a hive mind, or an ant nest of a hive mind with your licenses, right? And we were thinking like building some kind of like secret service agent, with each agent being able to do different tasks, and then we can use Suitrump as the currency to run the agents, you know. So in a way we could leverage the power of Swarm to then leverage our own AI, which then people would use for daily tasks, and then people would have to use their SUI Trump to basically run it, essentially. So there's lots of things that I'm working with the Road as well to try and, you know, just see the possibilities, what we can do with the token. and what kind of things we can start creating, having as much fun as possible, because it's a meme coin, right? Memes should be fun. We should always have fun and interesting and really, exciting things to do with the coin and talk about. So that's something we're really getting excited and ready for launch with as well.
It's been super awesome because I am obsessed with AI myself and using ChatGPT Plus, and it's the way you can have it help you organize things. A lot of people think it's just to ask questions, but like the desktop version and the website interface helps you keep track of your projects by using the project folders. I have one just for SUI Trump, so I can ask it questions and it knows the context to it automatically. And you can even upload documents that it can pull from, like contract addresses, YouTube web addresses, email addresses. And I was messing around in the chat earlier today. I think you saw, and I just asked ChatGPT, why is SUI Trump so awesome? That's all I said. And I posted the answer exactly. And I even sent the recording of it talking to me saying it in the chat. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, it's dope. Yeah, so we have $100 up for winning today, by the way. Trying to see if we look through the chat, if we have any questions from people, or if anyone's on the mic as well. If you have any questions to ask about SUI Trump.
To just unmute and start talking if you have a question, because there's 2 winners of $50 USDC. So, if you want that money, you got to ask a question.
Hey guys, I just want to say hi and thanks for all your hard work. Appreciate the time that a couple of the mods took to answer my questions over the last few weeks, Mr. Furley and Brett. So it's been good.
Nice.
Really like the project.
Yeah, Josh, and I told you that's also my same name. I'm Mr. Furley, but my name is Joshua. I'm a real person. I don't wish to like fully dox myself like Richie, but it's not like I'm hiding. I live in Mexicali, Mexico. I was born in the Bay Area, California. So, I made sure to tell you because I believe I met you in another project that I was helping with moderation, and I always DM people in there that I think are, really good investors, and I tell them about SUI Trump because I'm like, okay, I'm helping mod this project, but the one I came from is really the one I can truly vouch for. So if you want like a totally legit project that I know for sure personally, because I know Richie for 4 years, I would trust him with $1 million of Bitcoin or whatever, and I know it would be safe. He would never do something malicious. He's just not that type of person because I know him so well. And that means that this is the only project that I can truly say the developer is not going to abandon the project. He's going to do whatever it takes to make it successful, and he's not trying to profit from it. I personally know that 100% sure, so I can confidently tell that to other people. But other projects that I'm helping, I don't know the devs personally, none of them. I just met them by trying to help them out. So I was telling them this is the project that the only one that I can vouch for personally.
Yeah. I did have a question. I was curious. I put it on the chat there, but I was wondering if there was in the yield farm, if there was going to be some sort of mechanism or a procedure for people from other chains with other currencies to easily pop in and buy into the whatever they want in the yield farm and just right there, like sort of a bridge sort of swap.
Yeah, good question. So I was talking with the team about that yesterday, because you can see on the UI we've got set up right now, the top banner is very empty. There's not much going on there. If we come over to, I think the best looking yield farms and functional ones, probably on SUI Cetus is the best looking one as well, right? And also on Sonic, there's one called SwapFi, which is maybe the most beautiful UI I've ever seen for a yield farm ever with SwapX. But if you go up to the top on Cetus, what you'll notice is that they do have a bridge option, but the two bridge options. They're okay. SUI Bridge is a great way to move Ethereum funds onto SUI chain. So you will be able to just move your ETH to SUI. But I know a lot of people who are in the SUI ecosystem don't use ETH very much because of the high gas fees, right? They also list Wormhole, which is pretty good. The only one I can see that it doesn't handle is Binance Smart Chain to SUI chain, but it can do Base Chain. It does AVAX. It does Solana, I believe, also over to SUI. So we'll list both of these just out of the standard way of, if CEDAS do it, then there's no reason why we shouldn't have the same two bridges. I might add a third for Binance Smart Chain, but then I don't want to confuse people too much. But generally with this, easiest way is to just use a third-party service. So, you can just use Wormhole, for example, and then you can get their API. And then, so this is still on CEDAS' site, this bridge.cedas.zone. And then they've just used the API from Wormhole, basically. And then you can decide where you want to go, Solana, for example, over. So that's my idea. But yeah, I also really like what SwapX have done with the design of their farm. I think it's a really, really attractive looking place for grabbing investment as they come in. So there's a couple things in their UI that I also want to push the team to start adding in. And they also have the bridge option. They use Rhino, which is also a pretty good bridge. But I've never tried to use Rhino to bridge to SUI, but they might be able to handle it. I'm not sure though. But okay. Rhino covers a load of options as well. But no, they don't think they have SUI chain.
Yeah, there's a new one coming out, and they're bragging that it'll be seamless for I think 10 plus different currencies you can drop in to go.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Anyway, it's supposed to be out in the next week or two. But I just looking forward.
Do you know the name of the?
Yeah, it's like a layer 2 thing on Ethereum. It's called Degen layer.
Okay,
Degen layer, and they have their big token launchpad that has all of the utilities built in, like for each contract, basically. Like staking's right there for people, and buyback and burns, and it's all added for every token that gets launched on.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's just these. I think they're cool ideas, but to look forward to for the SUI Trump farm might be some options.
Yeah, great.
And the
definitely.
having a simple bridge, I think. I mean, we've all bridged a million times, but here when we're looking at it's not always simple. I think moving forward, when we want to onboard another billion people into crypto, it's going to have to be simplified somehow. So
yeah, for sure.
Whoever makes it the simplest is going to win.
Well, Josh, it's whoever. ChangeNow.io and SimpleSwap.io. You can go from any coin on any network to any other coin on any other network, and it's pretty good on the fees, because doing it through a SEX, sometimes it's even worse because they don't want you to take your money out, like crypto.com. We're changing now. SimpleSwap, you can go from any network, any coin on any network to almost any other coin on any other network. And if you check the prices of multiple different ones to get the best price possible, it's really not that bad, as long as you know how to do it.
They're okay.
It's not a problem for me, but I'm just thinking of, when you want to onboard new people, because it's a scary place for new people to come into.
Yeah, I find the process for Change Now is a little bit tough for someone who's new, because you have to say what you want to swap, and then you need to send those tokens manually to Change Now, and then they'll make the trade for you, and then they send the tokens back to your wallet. And this can be a little bit daunting for new people, right, into it. And I have had funds held by Change Now before. They wanted me to KYC with them until they gave me back my bridge funds, which really did put me off them quite a lot. But we did fix it in the end, because I told them that, I made a tweet about it, they weren't happy that I was complaining. But for someone who doesn't have a Twitter account, for example, and then their funds are held, they're forced to KYC. to get their funds back, which isn't decentralized at all. It's the opposite of decentralized, right?
Okay, yeah, because I didn't have any problem. I KYC'd with them on purpose because you get bonus points if you make an account. So yeah, as far as KYC, I'm not sure. I haven't even tried that yet.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely bridge options will be added. I think the smartest thing that we can do with SUI Trump is we find the best solution for that's already been made, and then we leverage that as a third party is the smartest way. I don't want to get bogged down in trying to create our own bridge, because then it would be kind of moving our focus from one thing over to the other thing, and then it will get too confusing for everyone, right? So at the moment, yeah, the plan is getting the decks finished and the farm running, and then from there we can continue to build it out. You know, that's fine, because the farm will have a monetary system for the farm, which will enable us to have continuous funds coming into SUI Trump to continue marketing and growth. Because again, I'm treating this like a business. It's very important that running this is beneficial financially for SUI Trump as well.
You're the best person to do it.
Yeah.
So the farm has a DEX. So this is something I wasn't clear of. So it has the farm for the victory token, but it also has an exchange, like a swap.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
So the moment the farm testnet is down because they're adding in now the emission contracts. So I can't show you the farm page, but this will be when people come to swap or buy on the farm page, it will bring you to SUI DEX, where then you will have to add your liquidity into SUI DEX in order to add it into the farm, right? So over time, we had a question about this from who was it? It was a lady in the SUI Trump chat. She asked a question about the V2 or V3
Sunny
farm.
Yeah, I was going to get to her.
Yeah. What was her question? I'm trying to see if I can find it.
I'll go back and see. Yeah, I'll find it if you want to continue talking about the farm.
Yeah. So then we had the decision to make at the start of making the farm, whether we just make a farm and then people pair their liquidity, for example, just in CETUS, right? And they make liquidity and then they send it into the farm. Now, the problem with that, of course, is it makes it extremely complex for anyone who's not into yield farming, not only concentrate liquidity farming, because that's what CETUS does, but just yield farming, right? Is that they'd have to go off-site, come to CETUS, come to pool, right? Then come to build a position, add their liquidity in, right? Like all these kind of things, to then come back to the SUI Trump farm to deposit their liquidity in. And it's just too much to do. And then not everyone's, because the CETUS is using concentrate liquidity pools, then that means also that what if they did it wrong? So for example, I want to take this token. What's this? S token, right? So we say, okay, what you need to do to get into SUI Trump farm is you need to make a liquidity pair, and then you should do full range because you're going to be in SUI Trump farm with it, right? But what happens if they're like, oh no, I don't want to do that. I want to do like a tight range, right? I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to mess around, and then suddenly they've done this and it's completely wrong, right? And they're like, oh no, it's outside. It's just too complex for someone to then take. And then once they've finally made their liquidity, then come to our farm and then deposit it in. And so the simplest solution was we need to make our own DEX so that we can have control of to take care of our farmers, right? So if there are any issues with pairing liquidity, swapping tokens, and getting ready for going into the farm, then we can already look through their transactions and help them in that way. And we know it deep down exactly how it works, and we can simply explain how everything works, right? Because it's all our own DEX. And then there's also the question, the whole idea for getting into a yield farm is you need to supply liquidity, right? We need liquidity because one, for SUI Trump, liquidity is king. So the farm will incentivize people to take their SUI Trump token and SUI or USDC and make liquidity. The more liquidity that SUI Trump token has, the stronger the token will be. This whole idea works for all coins, right? So we want the simplest way for liquidity to be added so that we can get them in the farm and then they can start earning. At any point, they can exit the farm, break their liquidity, take their tokens back. That's there's no boundaries on that. There's no gatekeeping on that, right? But so then the question, did you find it from Sunny? Because it's kind of linked to this. Oh, you've already,
yes,
okay.
Yes, I forwarded it in the chat.
Okay, so hi Richie, my question, since I can't make it, will you provide YouTube video tutorials on SUIDEX site to show holders like me how to set up liquidity pools with varying degrees of risk, as I'm used to CETIS auto-selecting what is active, conservative, and full range. I would like to be able to have that feature and what ranges have been like in the last 24 hours, 7 days, or month. Will this be available at the farm for the liquidity pool pairings? Right, so for some of you, you might hear that and think, oh yeah, of course, that's concentrate liquidity farming. Super easy, no problem, right? For other people, that's like speaking another language, right? You know what I mean? Like it's quite complex there.
I'm not even sure.
Conservative.
Honestly.
Yeah, so exactly. So that's why we took the decision for SUIDEX that we're not yet going to be using concentrate liquidity for this. We're using, it's called V2. So concentrate liquidity is V3. It's a advancement on liquidity farming, essentially. But we chose, for the simplicity of SUI Trump, because SUI Trump is a meme coin, we chose to use V2. That means that when liquidity is added, so say I want to take SUI token 7 and I want to pair it with SUI token 9, okay, these are just examples, then we're going to be going 50-50 with these assets. So it will always be 50% of the ST, depending on their value, of course. So 50% of one coin will be, and 50% of the other. And we just create a liquidity token when the pair is made. This liquidity token is then sent into SUI Trump farm and deposited. Then they farm, they earn victory token, they can profit from victory token, they can pair up victory token and farm with that as well. They can stake the victory token to earn more, and they earn SUI coin with victory token. Then at any point, they can unstake, come back to liquidity, unpair their liquidity, and move on. The simplicity of this is key for meme coin holders, because the issue with using concentrate liquidity for yield farming is, what if, for example, I make this coin, right? So what if I went in to the farm with a active range, right? Or a conservative range, or, you know, and what if the prices of the token, went up massively or down a lot while I was farming? That would mean that my farming position would be out of range. Once the farming position is out of range, I'm no longer supplying liquidity. I have a one-sided asset, right? All of my coins have moved over to one asset. And for the farm, that means that we're not benefiting from having liquidity in the farm. We're only just having a single stake asset, but then they would still be getting rewarded in victory token for just supplying a coin into the farm as opposed to liquidity. And this is detrimental for our farm, because liquidity is what attracts people, not just having a coin sitting there. Liquidity is attractive for SUI Trump because we want bigger liquidity. For all of our meme coin partners as well, they want, of course, to be able to see, you know, people will come to Dex Screener. They'll see if you come to SUI, they're going to see all the dexes at the top. Of course, we want to be here with SUIDEX, right? And we want to have liquidity so that their chart also looks better. They have thicker liquidity. They have more volume on Dex Screener from using SUIDEX and SUI Trump Farm for their project as well. So that's why initially we've gone with launching with V2 style mechanics. Now, I'm totally for making things more complex in the future and adding the technology to make V3 on SUIDEX. But I think initially for the launching, simplicity of meme coin holders coming in, already possibly confused about what yield farming is. So then to use V2, it will be a much more simpler onboarding process for them to get in. So that's why I went with the V2 style to begin with for the launch.
Well, trust me, that is way beyond probably what any other projects are doing, or even anyone here. So, I mean, I think that's something that
it's important.
You may seem to appreciate how advanced strategies and crypto knowledge you have, because me myself, with how many projects I've worked with, seeing the actual skills of the developers, it's not even close. Like none of the projects I've worked with has anywhere near the amount of knowledge about cryptocurrency and how these things work as you do. Like, honestly, not trying to, exaggerate at all. This is my honest opinion, like, that I found out on my own. Like, there's not very many good developers that have this type of knowledge. There's so many people that just launch coins that don't even know anything about cryptocurrency. So, I mean, it's nice to have somebody that actually knows what they're doing, that has years of experience, their own YouTube channel with a history of verified, integrity and legitimate projects that I've personally witnessed, being one of your first 200 subs way back in the day, that I've seen with my own eyes. That's why I have so much trust in Richie and his projects.
It's important, and I think, like, for example, I know Max said he can't speak right now, but for example, Moonshot Max, he's got some experience also with a lot of experience with yield farming. I think he'll understand what I mean. That like yield farming with a reward token with V3 farming in a meme coin farm is too much, too much for 90% of the holders of the coin. So the idea is, first start with the simple format of you pair up your liquidity. We have a quick question there from Philly Boy Abe, who says, will there be a ZAP function where you can take one coin and automatically get you in the farm? Yeah, I want to build that for sure. That's on the list.
Yeah, that would make it even. Richie, I have numbers with each of the questions in the chat.
Oh, sorry, I front ran you.
Oh no, the order doesn't matter. I'm just letting you know they're all there.
Okay, but yeah, I just saw that as I glanced over. That is something also I want to do, because that makes it even easier, right? Because we're using V2. So as I said, the coin, we put one coin in and we put another coin in, we pair them 50-50, right? So in terms of their value, right, their dollar value. So I go with SUI and this random token that we have, right? I go 50-50, $10, $10, right? And then I add the trading pair. I add the liquidity. But a zapper is even better, because it means you just need to put one token in. So you put the SUI in, the SUI sells half into the coin that you want. So say you wanted to make SUI Trump with SUI. You just go in with SUI. Then half of the SUI buys SUI Trump, pairs up liquidity, and boom, you've got it, right? So that's also something that I want to add, because that makes it really easy for people to join. They just have to click one button and boom, then they've got it, and then they're just in. That's definitely on the list. Yes. 100%.
So you can see the numbered questions there. I mean, I don't know. Do you want me to tell you them, or you can just see them in the chat yourself? I don't know how you want to.
Yeah, you can ask me them if you want. That'd be fun.
Okay, so you answered the one from our NFT club, but I think he had two questions. I think. Let me check. Okay, so Pablo Esquibra said, is there is there any project partnerships lined up and waiting for the release of the LP farm ready to deploy?
So at the moment, I have a short list of 3 or 4 projects at the moment who are ready, and we've talked about it, and we will be adding them to try and help them to form larger liquidity as well. But in terms of having huge, large market cap projects, if we come down the deck screener, we haven't yet managed to hook the large one. And I could get back in touch with Suimon and see if they're game for it. I'm pretty sure they would be, because they're pretty responsive to these kind of things. But for the Big 10, essentially the Big 10 meme coins on Sui, we're yet to manage to grab them, right? But I think it's just a matter of time, especially once we get the decks and the farm page up and online. Not started yet, right? My plan is to finish the UI design for the farm and the decks, and then we have the contracts working and everything, but we just host them on, for example, SuiTrumpFarm.com or SuiDex.com, right? Then our these large cap meme coins on Sui will be able to come to our site and really see that, okay, this is actually real, it's happening, it's a real project, it's got an audit. And that's when I think the applications for them will start to come in, because it's completely beneficial to every single coin on Sui to come and farm in our farm, right? What have they got to lose? They're going to get more liquidity. Their token holders are going to get rewarded in coins, and we are going to burn Sui Trump at the same time. So it's completely win-win for everybody. So I expect that to come in as soon as we get the site launched on hosted on a website. Then I think that we will start to gain a lot more attention for what we're building. In terms of the small caps, right? Because we're a small cap right now, and there are lots of other small caps in the Sui ecosystem for meme coins, which I personally like, right? For example, one of them is Pepe Pig. I think that it's a great coin, and the dev is an honest man. It seems completely honest, right? Verly, would you back me up on that?
Oh yeah, so totally. Chen, he says he's in a dangerous country, is why he doesn't speak or show his face, which is totally understandable. Yeah. But he is the first project that I helped moderate, because I saw you do the video. You did the video where you just picked random project, and I knew oh, this is going to blow up with Richie did a video on it. So I bought in a huge amount, in terms of what I can afford. Big to me. It's probably like maybe 20 Sui. Really, right when you first launched that video, and it bonded within a half an hour. So I got in the Telegram as soon as possible, like, hey, there's a video just made, and it got up to 600,000 market cap at one point. And I have been working with Chen, and I'm still considered the main moderator of that Telegram, even though I don't have as much time to be there. I still talk with Chen all the time and work with him about getting the video done for SUI Trump. And as far as I know, I have not seen him do anything malicious whatsoever at all. And he's been totally
so it's projects like these, right? Like I would think of this as like an incubation style project, where we see the potential of the meme, and he makes great videos. The meme's solid. It's Pepe Pig. It's combining Peppa Pig with a frog, right? Solid idea. He makes really original art, and he makes his own videos to promote this. So I would say it's like an incubation style one, where we offer, right? Okay, yeah, we will whitelist your pair. Because to be able to trade in SUI decks, of course, we need to be able to, on the back end, we need to say, okay, we allow this pair to be added as liquidity, and you can now, and then we would allow them a farming pair in our farm. So then we would allow their holders to be able to pair liquidity with SUI decks, and then move into our farm and start earning, right? And that would bring more attention to, projects which we've worked with. I've been following Pepe Pig for months now. And it's ones like these, which I think would be great to have incubation or nursery projects, which we're trying to work with and grow them, so that we build trust with other developers and artists in the space. But then also, probably more importantly, we need to fish and catch the large cap meme coins who have the high volume, big liquidity, large whales holding them as well, and try to attract them. For example,
wait. There's going to be FOMO as soon as it is actually live and people see that it's actually a legitimate thing. Because I think right now a lot of people don't believe it's going to happen.
Yeah, I know.
Because it's complicated. It is a program.
Yeah. Probably. For example, here we have Shroom, which is Shroom AI DAO. So Shroom is a project coin which is listed by RaidenX, right? Who we just finished the competition with. We have communications open with RaidenX. I haven't yet brought to them my pitch for them, but the pitch would be, hey, do you want to, advertise it or explain to your community that we are going to add a Shroom AI DAO pool in Suitrump Farm. All they need to do is add liquidity. Here's the audit. Here you can check the code if you want. This is a legitimate project. And then they either say, yes, okay, we've worked together before, or they say, no, that's the way it goes, right? But that's my approach for it, is trying to catch these large coins as well, because we do need a couple of them to really hit the launch of Suitrump Farm with a bang. We need a couple of these.
Just so you know, I did post the link to this AMA in the RaidenX chat.
Nice. Good job. Okay, we have another question.
Yeah. Let me get back to that because I got to go back to the chat from the screen. So can you guys still hear me when I don't have this? Can you hear me right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can hear you.
So I can look at the. Oh, is that someone else? Yeah. If you have a question that you can save for yourself, go ahead.
No, I'm gonna have backseat. Sorry. Can you hear me?
Riding.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I'm driving now, so I didn't know if there was going to be backfeed because you're on my Bluetooth.
Oh, I can hear you.
All right. Hey, I just want to let you know, I love Suitrump. I love what Richie does. I love what Furley does, and I love the fact that you're from Concord. I'm from Fairfield, California. You know what I'm saying?
That's so awesome, bro. Yeah, I couldn't believe that because no one's ever guessed where my name actually came from because they think it's the guy from Three's Company, but it's actually from Mac Dre. He's a Bay Area rap legend, but he was shot and killed in 2004 on my birthday. You're getting a little background noise at the moment now, but.
Yeah, I'll get off.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. That's awesome to know there's someone from Fairfield that's right across the Benicia Bridge from Concord and Martinez. That's super cool. Okay, so I'll look for another question. If you have a question that you can speak for yourself, go ahead and open the mic and ask your question. If not, I'm going to look for another one from the chat.
Yeah, there's a couple actually.
They're just getting I'm trying to keep them organized. Your messages keep coming in. Okay. So you went over the zap function from Philly Boy. Will holders have a say in future updates or tokenomics changes?
For the update, well, for the farm, yes. For Suitrump Farm, any of the listed pairs which we will have in the pools, which earn victory token, we will put them to vote. So, for example, there I was talking like saying, I think, I want I like this small project. I referenced the pig token, right? If our community, when we get to listing and making pairs for the farm, if our community majority says no, they don't want that coin, then we wouldn't list the coin. So every pool pair will be put up for vote. I'm sure, for example, if I cut a deal with Blub and then, I say, hey, guys, we're going to put Blub on the farm, I'm pretty sure everyone would agree with me because it's a huge meme coin. But we will still hold a vote for our community to get involved, get engaged, and go for it and say, yeah, I also want this coin to be in the farm. So for the pairs, yes, that earn victory token, definitely. In terms of tokenomics, I mean, what else can we do with the Suitrump coin? The supply is already completely minted out. There's no buy tax, there's no sell tax. We cannot change the tokenomics. The liquidity is locked in MovePump already. So there's not much we can really vote on there. But in terms of the farm, yeah, there are a lot of things that we can use for voting with governance for going forward in the future. Definitely.
And then our next question, Josh is going to go back on and talk to us. There's no limit on questions, guys. You can ask as many questions as you want. You'll only be entered for the drawing for the best question once. But as far as information about the project, ask as many as you want. There's no limit. That's what we're here for.
Okay.
Go ahead,
I have a question. Or Josh, go ahead, Josh.
No, go ahead. I already asked one. Go ahead.
Okay. I know everyone's hyped about the farm and the DEX, but Richie, if you could speak a little bit about where you see the project in a year or in the distant future as far as its utility and where you'd ultimately like to see it and your goals for it in the
1 billion market
future.
cap.
Besides the billion market cap.
So
of course, goes without saying.
So from a year from now, I think we'll be. I was thinking about this today as I was watching Trump sign that the first crypto executive order, right? And pushing through, the first official order for crypto, right? I was thinking about that, because he's just begun with his, as he signed it as well. I don't know if you watched the video I posted, but basically the guy said, "Oh, this is an executive order to start a committee to start looking into building, crypto, what was that? Crypto treasury or something." And all he did was he picked up the book, he took his marker out, he signed it and goes, "Did you see it? Oh, we're up a lot." And then the guy took the executive order and then he just went, "Yes, we are, sir. Yes, we are." And that's it. And then they moved on to other executive orders, right? But this is the beginning of a completely new world for cryptocurrency. And it could, this is just a hunch, I feel like I have, it could actually extend the bull run longer than people expect it to. Because we're all thinking, because every other bull run has lasted about a year and a half, and then we're done, right? We're already well into the bull run, of course, with Solana just breaking all-time highs and other tokens doing unbelievably well. But the roadway for how long this bull run can last has just been extended so much further with the actions that Trump's made. So then I've started reflecting on, of course, SUI Trump and thinking, well, this is perfect, right? Because we are a Trump coin. He's the sole man pushing this narrative through and getting so many more people attracted to crypto. Now he's so religious, right? So he's going to, and religious people follow what religious leaders say and do. So just imagine church on Sunday, right? In a small town in Texas or something. And all these old ladies and granddads and, they're all going to say, "Oh, do you see what Trump he says that this coin, da-da-da." Like they will start to also, this huge movement of no coiners and people who didn't trust cryptocurrency initially, seeing their leader, the president, and also an extremely devout and religious man saying that this is all great now. This is going to cause a huge influx of capital coming into cryptocurrency.
I got something I can mention on that too, for sure, right now.
Okay.
What you're saying about that. So of course, I just want to give a shout out to my mom. Hi, Mom. You're going to see this. My mom owns cryptocurrency.
Hi, Mom.
And yeah, you gave a shout out to her a long time ago. She really appreciated that.
Sounds like a lovely lady.
She is retired and lives in Arizona, and she's a Christian lady herself. And she has 2 friends that invest in cryptocurrency, and she owns SUI Trump and MSS, another project you promoted. And I think it's really cool that we're reaching that type of audience now, and that those type of investors. It's funny to me to think that there's a group of retirement ladies in Arizona that are investing in Bitcoin and now
Yeah.
SUI Trump. That's really cool.
Yeah. So
Love
then
you, Mom.
to get so then to get back to, you know, that's the overall crypto market and everything that's going to be, I think, happening in the next year, 2 years. We have 4 years with Trump in charge, right? And unless something really goes wrong, which could happen. It is Trump, right? But there is risk involved here. But so huge overall market cap raising. Right now, we're $3.6 trillion market cap in all of cryptocurrency, right? Probably hitting to 10, $15 trillion is a possibility now, right? And with SUI Trump, then that gives us, in terms of like a year, so a year from now, of course, the farm will already be launched and running. The burns will be continuing to happen. Probably knowing my personality, I'll start, you know, focusing on building the next developments for SUI Trump, adding new things to it. You know, getting attracted by some other narrative and experimenting with that and seeing how it works with our project. So definitely once the farm is out and as we then continue on in the march with SUI Trump coin, I won't be just moving on to another coin or another project. I've never launched a coin before. This is the only coin I own, I've made, right? So then it will just continue to try and build more advancements, more cool and fun stuff with it. Of course, getting listed on some centralized exchanges is going to be really important. I want to do this just after the farm launch. My next aim will be getting onto centralized exchanges because that, again, raises volume. We want more liquidity. We want more volume. And my personal goal is to take SUI Trump to $5 million market cap. Then I would look back on this as a roaring success if we can hit $5 million market cap. But then once we get to 5 million, probably I'll make a new goalpost for how large I want the market cap to grow. So it's, for me, it's just the beginning of this. And with definitely what is happening in politics now with crypto, it's unbelievably bullish for what's going to be happening for all of our wallets, for all of our coins.
My personal opinion, when the farm is actually live, is going to be the actual game changer and pivotal moment in the project. When the farm is actually a live working product, that is going to be a major shift in this project. There's going to be so many more eyes on it. And I also have some promotions from some connections I have that are ready to give us a shout out on their very large channels. But I'm waiting for the farm to be ready to take use of those connections because I think that's when it'll be most useful.
Yeah, that's smart. That's smart. Yeah, I hope
I have a question, if I can ask.
Yeah, sure.
So, talking about promotions, and I've noticed through the Cetus airdrop campaign and how we've gone, you know, from just a small pool going back in October. I was one of the very first ones to pair on Cetus, and I've noticed that liquidity has gone up every single time. I'm wondering if you're going to do the same kind of thing, offer another airdrop promotion to help encourage people to come to the farm and pair there instead of being on Cetus.
That's a good idea, actually. I haven't considered that, but it's we could do that easily. For the airdrop, I'm going to show you guys what I do. So I have the script here. This is just something I coded up, and it's just interacting with Cetus through an API, just a public API that I use, and then all I need to do is just node get liquidity.js. To run this, it just runs through to blockchain and gives me a snapshot of all the holders of liquidity in Cetus, and then a point system that I've set up on it as well, and that it is. And then it just prints it out. I copy that. I bring it over to the airdrop snapsheet, and I add it in there, right? This has been great, actually, because I have noticed that when we do run these airdrop campaigns, that we do see more liquidity being added to Cetus because people want to try and get more of the token. And I think it's something we could definitely do as a side marketing campaign for. Not only are they going to be able to get the victory token for supplying liquidity, but we could also add additional airdrops for early onboarding early participation in the first couple of weeks of the farm. I think that would be really fun. So yeah, definitely, I'm up for that. I'm going to write that one down.
Yeah,
Good
it's
idea,
one of
Brett.
those things. The problem is one of those things where I notice that the longer they hold a pool and notice that they're getting fees and income, they convert themselves from maybe day trading to long-term holders, and they actually want to keep the coin longer than just the 2 weeks.
Yeah, completely agree. And that's what we want. And then they start checking out the socials, the Telegram. They start, getting more into, what we're trying to achieve. And that's what we need, right? It's definitely what we want. We don't want people just coming in and leaving, like buy, sell, gone, move on to the next one.
Hello, hi, this is Abe from Philly.
Hey.
Hey,
Hey, Philly boy.
I have a question / I guess comment or statement. I want to switch gears and talk about the AI bot, the SUI AI bot, and
Cool.
it would be nice, or do you plan on having it shill the SUI coin? Like maybe along with its smart ass remarks or comments to mirror what Trump really says, maybe for it to give you maybe price updates. Like it's been like sudden price drops or increase, like it's dropped 5% today, fill up your bags, or this is the lowest point it's been in about a couple days, where it gives you you can prompt it to say when it's reached a certain point to inform people in the chat that, hey, it's time to it's gone down a little bit, maybe you want to fill up your bags.
Well, that's a pretty good idea, actually.
Two different bots. There's a Telegram bot and there's a Twitter bot. So there's two different ones too.
Well, yeah, they're the same personality though. It'll just be deployed into Twitter quite soon. But that's a very doable actually. Because it could also when you said it to do it for SUI, I was also imagining there we could add in programming not just for SUI Trump coin but also for SUI coin as a whole, right? So even if SUI's on a tear, right? Hey guys, you should get your ass over to SUI chain. We're pumping, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, just something that just says where you can program if it's goes down a certain percentage or goes up.
Yeah, that's
just sell. Okay, good, cool. Because I'm thinking the whole point of having it, I mean, it'll be a good marketing tool to, hey, come by, talk to SUI Trump, and also it should also one of the main goal is to shill the coin itself.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. And Richie, make sure you connect it to Murad if you haven't already, because I don't know if you've connected it to his page. He has a cult following on Twitter of meme coins, and I've been rating him every single time. I always go to his posts. Stop Murad. Got to make sure to connect to him.
Yeah, I'll add him to the list. We have about 700 people he's trolling at the moment. You can see them if you go to Suitrump AI and come to the replies. Just anyone talk. So here's Ross Ulbricht, and then the one thing I think we need to fix is at the moment the AI is so arrogant that he's saying everything in full caps, which might not be the best communication method. But he's so far he's been pretty good. We've caught a couple times where he is very insensitive to political news, so that's something to be careful about. But so far it's so good.
Yeah, really took to say, hey, it's the AI. It wasn't just the AI being crazy, but just so you guys know too, I'm pretty educated on AI and what is considered an agent. To make it an agent by the book, that means that it's proactive, that it will do things on its own without user input. So it's a layer 2 AI LLM like ChatGPT. What makes it an agent is when it does proactive actions without having to prompt it. So that's what a true agent is. And we have an actual AI agent in SUI Trump by the book, where a lot of other projects say they have agents and they're just fake. They're just in the name. So
for example, here we have Republican Jim Jordan, and he's talking about Jack Sawyer won a national championship on Monday in the NFL. And then the SUI Trump AI recognizes immediately that the topic is NFL and says that's great for Jack, but while he's prepping for the NFL, SUI Trump holders are already scoring touchdowns with unstoppable profits. Why wait for a draft when you can join the true champion and win big now? Like, and that's just completely off its own. It's ridiculous, actually. But there are things we need to fix. For example, you'll notice with the responses it puts into Twitter, it says "while" at almost every single reply, right? While you're doubting, while you're dreaming. So we need to fix the repetition of it. We need to also, I think the all caps is a bit much, possibly as well. Possibly.
It's still getting our name out there. It's still getting our name out there. But even though we'll make it better, it's still letting people know, putting it in their heads.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's great because it just runs continuously, and it also posts. So it's continuing to post every hour, just different parts as well. But yeah, I think making
relying on your community to do raids. These agents are doing raids 24/7 automatically without any input at all. It's just automatically raiding constantly 24/7.
Yeah. But yeah, I think adding the coin price updates, big buy comes in, whale buys, for example, if an announcement comes out from the official channel, then the AI might be able to also read it, understand it, and then also make its own post about it would be also quite cool. Yeah, good suggestions, definitely. Good. Any other questions?
On the AI thing.
Yes.
I stumbled across this project, and it's pretty incredible. The agents periodically through the day make up their own podcasts based on certain things, right? So it's like, and they're amazing, like, and they actually have video and they're perfecting the video, but you cannot. They come on there and they do the chit chat like they call RJ radio jockey. They come on there and they do like a 2-minute podcast about the market, how the market's looking, or health and wellness, or they do health updates from around the world.
Josh,
anyway,
I'm working on that right now because we have another member, Kyle. He's probably listening right now. I see him there. He already made an example one, and yeah, you can make it. It seems like an actual real podcast of two people having a conversation, but you can make it about any topic you want. It is really amazing. And Kyle read it. Oh, he actually came from Reddit. Yeah, he's sending a message in the chat right now. But yeah, he said, "Oh, guys, I have to shoot. It's been a hoot listening. So yeah, but I'm gonna be looking into that too and what he used, because it's really cool. Because you almost can't even tell it's not real. It really sounds like an actual podcast, and they just casually talk about, oh, there's this new project called SUI Trump, and it's two people having a conversation. It's wild.
And these agents pop in like they do 100 a day. It says and they're already on Spotify and they're on Amazon Prime Music. You can already subscribe to them, and they just automatically grab highlights from the news from different places. It's all in the white paper. It's cool, and it shows you actually how they developed the bots and how they sent the agents, how they took the information and sent it over to something to create the voices and sent it back. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and they got the video coming too.
Scary.
It's like, oh my goodness, it is scary.
I posted a link to his example in the chat. He just posted an example of what we're talking about. If you want to know what we're talking about, Richie.
Yeah, let me bring it up. Us on Spotify. Cool.
I don't think it's about SUI Trump, but it was just like an experiment he did.
Might as well be going to Spotify to do this right now. Crazy.
What'd you say, Rich? You cut off for a second.
Yeah, I think my lagging. Yeah, it's mad as well. Like they have a coin as well. Like that's crazy. Welcome to the block. So this is all run by AI. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Can't believe it. Oh, I think my connection's going weird, I think.
No, you're coming in just fine.
Okay, good. Good. Okay, we have any other questions?
Did you see that Spotify link from Kyle? Could you play a part of that? It's really cool.
Yeah, which is I didn't play it though, but I'm gonna watch it later. I think it's like 14 minutes long, right?
Yeah, but you could just get a feel of it for the first one, just the first minute or the first 30 seconds, how it's like two people talking, and it's just talking about meme coins in general. It's not talking about other projects, so I believe it's safe, but we could do it another time.
Yeah, I'll try to load it up, but then I'll have to.
I just dropped one in the chat there too, one of the video ones, and they're perfecting the video. They said, but this is their first run.
Oh, video. Okay, let's check that out. Cool.
Yeah, and so these are not real. These are AI agents having a conversation.
Crazy.
Today we're diving into Jupiterary 2025, a monumental event from the Jupiter Exchange. This isn't just another airdrop, it's the largest user airdrop ever, and it's all about rewarding the community. Let's break it down. First, the number of 700 million tokens will be distributed among nearly 2 million eligible.
Yeah, that's wild. Wow. Pretty cool, though.
And the one that Kyle posted is just audio only, so it's like a podcast of people, and there's two people having a conversation. It's really awesome. AI is so cool.
Yeah, I mean, once they get this polished up, then people can't tell it's AI or not. It's going to be unbelievable. I mean, it's just all these like content creators are just going to have to retire, find something else to do with their lives.
No, it'll be a tool to amplify your creativity. I fully believe it's not going to replace anything. It's going to be an amplification tool for creators.
We'll see with that one. Okay, we have any questions? We've been going for quite a while now, almost 2 hours. Let's see. We're the third. Will SUI DEX migrate to AWS in the future, or primarily used through the Vercel X? Yeah, once we're just building a Vercel. Once we get the site fully functioning and the UI polished to how we like it, then I'll purchase the domain. I'll probably put it on GitHub and run it through what's it called again? Ocean Wave. It's what I've liked to do before, where I just fire the DNS to the usually I just buy the domain on something like GoDaddy, then host the actual contract for the UI on GitHub, and then I fire that over to Ocean Wave, and it sends over to the domain that I purchased. Is how I'll be doing it, just so that the like protection of the site can all be handled by GoDaddy or HostGator or any of those guys, because they offer premium protection, which is important.
There is another one. Are there any plans for wrapped SUI Trump?
Wrapped SUI Trump. I mean, that'd be really cool. Then we'd be able to send it other places. But the question there is, who wants SUI Trump if it's not on SUI chain? Where could we send it? If we send it to Solana, SUI Trump on Solana, it would have to be Solana Trump, right? Send it to Base, SUI Trump on Base chain. The message gets kind of mixed up, right? So probably for now, no. I think it would be a bit too confusing for that to happen. But if we could wrap Victory, because Victory token is it doesn't have any connotation to any other chain on it, so that could be an idea. Or we could experiment and make a wrap token and use that as well, just as a future project that could also be something that we could work on as well.
Okay, and then a guy that is really helpful in the Reddit and has been like awesome. He does more posts in there than I do. He posts every single day. Amazing. He has a question. What's the advantage of holding Victory Token? What prevents people from selling Victory Token immediately after they receive it? I hope it makes sense, my question.
Of course. So if we come to, so basically the thought process I've had for making SUI DEX and Suitrump Farm is to go back to the simplest onboarding and most successful onboarding of people into a yield farm ever, which is PancakeSwap, right? What they did when they launched is similar to my approach that I'm having, where we make the simplest onboard process and we reward in a simple token with a simple name, right? So for PancakeSwap, when it was first created 3 years ago now, I think, or 4 years ago, you would just take your BNB and Cake, or BNB and USDT, pair them in 50-50, like I explained before, and then you just come to earn, and you go into farm, you drop that in, right? And then you earn Cake, right? What they then did is for, now this Cake token emits a continuous amount of Cake token pretty much forever, right? So if you supply liquidity, then Cake is made, right? And you get rewarded in Cake. And there's nothing stopping anyone from just farming the Cake, immediately selling the Cake back into their BNB and stacking that, right? But there are some very clever mechanics that exist in PancakeSwap which do protect the price of Cake. For example, if I was to make a swap of 0.1 BNB into Cake right now, there's a fee of 0.03%, which is the platform fee for using PancakeSwap. What that does is, of course, some of it will go to reward the development team, and some of it goes into a treasury, which fills up with capital. They then use that treasury to buy the Cake token and burn it, right? So this adds, of course, this diminishes the supply, which is ever emitting and going up, and adds green candles to the chart, essentially, to help with the price of it. So that's an important thing for how PancakeSwap runs. The trading of tokens on PancakeSwap, even the selling of Cake token, does add to the buy pressure that they can add from their fee that they have on the DEX. Additionally, what they did was they made a very simple way in the beginning for people to come in and just stake their Cake token. Yeah, they have Cake, they earn Cake, they take their 10 Cake or whatever and put it in. And back then, what they did was you just put the Cake in and then you earn more Cake, which is fine. But what I want to do in Suitrump Farm is you take your Victory token, which you've earned in Suitrump Farm, which would be this, right? So say you're farming, you get Victory token. And what we have to try and help with the sell pressure, which will be on Victory token because people are farming it. A lot of people will want to sell it at the same time. That's why I'm not doing a pre-sale for Victory token, because the whole idea of doing a pre-sale for a token which is farming is never really going to work out, because the chart might go down in value because so much of this token is going to be earned, right? So I've never really believed in doing a pre-sale for a token which is going to be a farm token. I can't guarantee that people will profit from it, essentially, right? So that's why I'm not doing that way. So you get your Victory token from the farm. You can then come to Mar-a-Lago, and in Mar-a-Lago you can single asset stake your Victory token, and you can earn SUI token. So by just staking, get your Victory token, take some of it and profit if you want. So my strategy will probably be farm, get Victory token, sell 30%, maybe put 30% into the pools, and I'll take 30% of it or 40% of it and time lock it in the Mar-a-Lago and earn SUI token. So I'm earning on all fronts. And this will also lift a lot of sell pressure from the Victory token, because people will think, all right, so I don't need to just sell it. I can also just stake it here. I'm going to get SUI token anyway, right? So that's how this is how we've designed this mechanic on the back end to make sure that we can protect Victory token as much as possible. those two
And
ways.
from what I see, it seems like no matter what, it's a win for SUI Trump. It's a win-win for SUI Trump, no matter how you go.
Yeah. SUI Trump's the biggest winner here, 100%. Yeah.
And then Moonshot Max, he doesn't have an ability to talk right now. He wants me to ask you, have you considered having SUI Trump NFTs that can earn protocol revenue, maybe purchase NFTs with SUI Trump?
I've considered it. The one reason why I don't want to add NFTs is because it's very stressful trying to manage NFT collections. I've found from running the SCC DAO, it takes a lot of my time every month, and it's really it's like having another token essentially. You have to take care of a lot. There's a lot to be responsible for. I did see the possibly the success that SwapX had, because what they did was they held a pre-sale not for their farm reward token. What they did was had a pre-sale for their NFTs, and people purchased their NFTs in the pre-sale, and then they got an airdrop of tokens on launch, but also their NFTs are earning fees from the DEX. So as people are trading back and forth on the DEX, the NFT holders are actually earning the rewards. And that is quite attractive. So it's something we could consider, because we're not, we're just starting the build out for the farm. So we could think about this.
I think that'd be something for sure, like in the future. Like if we get that big, which I think we will, I think that'd be cool in the future, but not anytime soon.
It's hard to implement in the future, though. Something like this would have to be done in the start. Otherwise, we'd have to migrate all the liquidity pools, and we'd have to migrate all the, everything of the DEX to a new version of the DEX, which would be a huge headache. So generally, or
at least after the farm,
but to implement something like this would have to be done now. It's like building a sandcastle, right? You build your sandcastle, then decide you're going to try and change the foundation of the sandcastle. The whole thing would collapse, right? You'd have to build a new sandcastle. To do something like NFTs would have to be introduced now to make sure. I'll think about it, because it would attract substantial capital into the raise for it. But it does then.
Marcello says, will SUI DEX migrate to AWS in the future, or primarily used through the Versal app? So I'm not
I answered that one. I answered that one already.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Sunny. Let me see. You answered that. I think
we get them all.
That might be all of them. I'm still going through to the bottom ones. And if anyone has any questions, they can speak verbally. Go ahead and jump in.
Yeah.
I did have one.
If you have any other questions.
Just a bit of a far-fetched idea, but I thought it was really cool. There's a utility project that I've been following for 6 months or so on Sol. And yesterday they dropped a meme coin that was paired to their token. And so when you can just go in and search it on Radium and buy it with their token, or you can buy it with Solana, but it automatically locks up their token right into the contract. So anyway, it's been kind of fun. I see their tokens going up, the meme tokens going up. And
I was actually thinking about doing that myself. I was actually thinking about talking to Richie about that.
Oh yeah, if you could pair like a meme with SUI Trump is all I was thinking about. Just an idea.
What's it? What's the token called?
Well, poker. It's like a smart chain poker on Solana. It's pretty neat. They have a little poker platform and people go on in. But then they started. They just launched a granny token, a meme.
Oh, granny. Okay, let's see if we can find it.
And it's just paired to their token. It's like everybody's jumping on it, and everybody's. I don't know. It's kind of fun. but they burned a bunch of it, but I see their chart's raising as the meme price goes up. Their chart has to go up too because people are buying they're buying the
Solana, man.
poker.
One person makes a granny, and then there's a million grannies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been seeing on YouTube after what Trump did and Melania, like the amount of new coins coming out is going to be ridiculous at this point. There's going to be so many new coins being made. It's just going to be insane.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the token though. Is it just called Granny?
I can send you it.
Nice.
Send it in the chat. And also a last one from J Crypto. When retirement?
Yeah, exactly. Retirement's coming. Don't worry.
I told him I already retired because I already know I'm going to be rich and a millionaire from SUI Trump.
Grandmother. Okay. Grandmother. Let's find it. And it's on Solana, right?
It's on Solana, yeah. And the play token's on Solana too. But however they did it, they paired the granny to play and not to Solana.
No, it's not too high actually. Only 178,000, right? So
yeah, yesterday it started. They launched it at
Is that like how SUI agents or the SUI has its own pump where you can buy coins with it with that coin? Is that what you mean? Like how Richie did the video on SUI? Is it like that?
Let's have a look. So listed, it's paired with Granny and Play in liquidity, and it's also listed with Granny and it's only listed with Granny and Play at the moment. The Granny with Solana doesn't have any liquidity, so that's not the right token. So yeah, currently on DexClear anyway, there's only one liquidity pool for this, and it's paired with the Play token. So yeah, that means in order for people to buy Granny, they need to buy Play, right?
You can, but you can just pick Soul and Granny and buy it, and then when you do that, it purchases the Play. Like the buy comes up for the Play, and then it comes up for the Granny on the buy bot.
Yeah, but but what's happening in the back end there is that inside Iridium, the Solana will buy Play, and then the Play will buy Granny, right? It's exactly the way that it's. Yeah. So yeah, that's cool. That's actually there's a team that I followed for a long time who usually work on Pulse Chain, and they do work also on Binance Smart Chain, and they've made a lot of different apps which just work around kind of tricking liquidity and tricking tokenomics into thinking that buys are coming in, or because with having to use Play to purchase Granny, it will probably moonshot the Play coin as well, right? It's adding continuous volume and buy pressure onto Play as well at the same time. Yeah,
10% or something since that.
Yeah, that's smart. Yeah, I don't know if you know much about Atropa on Pulse Chain and how they handle all that kind of stuff, and the Grace currency, PTGC. This coin is unbelievable, right? So if you can see my screen here, this is the Grace currency on Pulse Chain. And you can see that they have liquidity with thick liquidity in hundreds of thousands of dollars with over 10 coins that they've paired up with all over Pulse Chain. This is the best performing coin on Pulse Chain by far over the last year and a half, because of the liquidity mechanics that they've put into it, where essentially whatever is being bought on Pulse Chain, whatever token, a large cap token on Pulse Chain is being bought, all of it is always adding buy pressure to the Grace currency. The chart is just always going up. It's been going up for a year and a half. It's wild how successful this is, and I hold a lot of it. Yeah, but that's a good idea actually, because
alpha overload.
Yeah. The Grace currency is a powerhouse. Really awesome. I want to get them for an AMA at some point actually. Very smart guys. But yes, so then to use to do something with playing with liquidity there, we could also do that because, well, for example, we have SUI Trump, and we could in the future, introduce some other token which has a a tokenomic in it, which also adds a burn or reward system or something, and pairing it up with SUI Trump to grow it could also be very fun. Yeah.
Yeah. These guys just came out today. They burned 50% because they were holding a bunch of it, and they burned it, and so everybody's excited about that and stuff. So
yeah, it's cool.
It's kind of neat.
Nice. I'm going to join them. I'm going to join them and maybe buy some.
So that play token really cool because they offer, in our other communities, they offer like free roll poker games, so you can go on there and they host them. You can go on there and you can put up the prizes or whatever. You can just,
hey Josh, anything about poker? Send me that in a DM. I want to know anything about poker, so DM me that information.
Yeah, I played one yesterday and one today. These free roll ones. It got my stake in Granny because I won some play tokens and then I just bought Granny.
Anyway. Nice. Yeah, this site here, right? So because the Granny deck screener just takes you straight to the play poker.
Right. Yep.
Nice.
That's awesome. Yeah, because I just used Sol for the first time ever to get the Trump coin. I'd never used Sol in my life before that.
Oh yeah.
And then so I'm just barely seeing about it because I'm trying to become like a SUI expert. I'm building an ultimate guide to SUI with ChatGPT and input from Reddit and everyone else, kind of like making it, and everybody that thinks they have something worth adding to it, I'm adding to it and making different versions of it that I'll be sharing eventually.
Yeah, you got to be careful on Solana, man.
I'm fading it because it's so dangerous. But
yeah,
I prefer SUI. I'm a but sometimes it's necessary.
Yeah.
No, Solana's I've got a really bad track record with. I've got great track record just holding Solana token. I do really well there, but in terms of buying coins, I'm still all right with the Sol and Trump still making okay APR at the moment. But this is the one you want to be in. Sol USDC, it just it can hit as high as 400 to 500% APR when Solana gets hot and trading volume really increases. So you're only holding Solana and USD coin, and just making 500% APR on just that is ridiculous. How much yield you can get from just owning Solana coin. But in terms of buying and swapping on Solana, you got to be really careful.
Yep.
This is why you guys all need to subscribe to Richie's channel, Crypto Mischief YouTube. You can get all this alpha information about all kinds of crypto, not just SUI Trump. He has such a good channel, and he has less subs than other crypto channels that have crappy information. They shill shitty coins. He really deserves more subs, and the more subs he gets, the more eyes are on SUI Trump. So please comment on his short videos. YouTube shorts are what pumps YouTube channels. That's why he's been making more of them. You need to like them and comment on every single one of them. I can't tell you how important it is, because it will get his channel pumped with subscribers really quick if he gets likes and comments on all the shorts he's making.
These are all my experimentations I've been doing on Solana over the years. You can see all of these I've put in roughly 0.5 to 1 Solana worth on these coins when I see them spike on on DexSkinner, right? There's Bear Paw, New Car, Lagomas, Superdog, Viagra, Wolf Skull. All of these used to be, when I purchased, were worth hundreds of dollars essentially. Now so many of them are worth pennies, absolutely nothing. My hit miss ratio on Solana is awful. Whereas with SUI Chain, actually most of the coins that I managed to buy on SUI Chain do pretty well. They don't seem to be as so volatile. They don't just disappear in 12 hours, which is what happens.
It was from Pump.fun, Richie.
Solana.
The Pump.fun and the streams they had, they ruined Solana with that, as far as that goes.
Yeah, kind of did.
Do you know that whole situation? How they were live streaming? They were live streaming really illegal stuff. So they went overboard with it.
Yeah. But the fees are there to be taken. So I would say that the alpha play is just taking your Solana and USDC or Solana and Bitcoin and just going into a pool. Here, for example, I'm running this is about a 30% sweep, so 30% up and 30% down on the price of Solana. And even on a low market day, it's making 54% APR. On high market days, yeah, as high as 500% APR. And you get rewarded in Radium and in USDC and in Solana coin for doing that. So I have multiple positions of that set up just so that I can farm the volume of people buying Solana. It's pretty much written in stone that Solana is going to be the biggest coin in the next 6 months because Trump launched on Solana. So it's just kind of whitelisted it to be the largest volume chain, almost guaranteed, right? So as long as you're smart and careful with what you buy, then and you can farm fees, incredible fees, unbelievable fees on Solana.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Richie. Like I put mine in chat, the screenshot. I bought Trump, and of course that's down 70% from when I bought it. But just earn the liquidity pool with just solo in USDC. That's actually helping me recover some losses. So yeah, I'm a little bit more riskier, as you can see in how far I go out, but it's been within range and money.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's another one I do. I think it's on Orca. Been doing this one for ages. It's just Solana with Bitcoin, and two assets that are just primed to be the some of the best performing assets of the bull run. And the APR is like 40% most days, can go up to 100 or 150% on some days. And it's just pairing up two assets which are destined to go up together and go down together, essentially. So I like this pair as well. Let's see if I can find it. Another wallet. That's the smart thing to do in Solana. The fun thing to do, of course, is to buy the really hyped and pumping coins, but it rarely works out, unfortunately, because we don't get the insider info. Anyone who's making money on these ridiculous high pumping coins in Solana already know exactly what's happening well before we do.
That's where I think the advantage with SUI is, because SUI is not as big as Solana, even close, but it is a better technology and network. So that's why I think we've had more luck on SUI, because it's not so just flooded with just millions of coins. It's more manageable. And a lot of people will come to me before they launch a coin and say, hey, I need help with moderation to help me with this coin, and I can buy it as soon as they launch it, and then be able to profit from that. So it's pretty cool. It's a more tight knit community.
Yeah, like here's another one on Orca, Bitcoin and Solana coin, 0.1% daily. So it's like 30-40% APR just on assets that I'm holding anyway. Makes roughly $100 to $200 a week in passive income just from concentrated farming. You can see on the right hand side there, my range is very wide. It's huge range actually on that. So you could tighten the range and get even more of the rewards out of it. But this has been in range for over 6 months, this one pair, and I have done nothing with it. It just sits there and I just earn it. Nice.
Sweet.
That's what smart people do with money, right? Like,
Richie, you make it look easy, man. So, I'm sure most of the people here have no idea what you're even talking about right now.
There's a YouTube. If you really want to learn about concentrated farming and you're not sure what to do, there's the one channel that I usually tell people to go to. They do have a paid service, but their YouTube is more than enough for just getting to grips with it. They're called Crypto Labs. And
for any YouTube or for any crypto beginners, like if you're just starting, I recommend the Coin Bureau. Has a lot of really good onboarding and safety wallet technology and seed phrases and stuff. The Coin Bureau is pretty cool for general knowledge if you're just starting.
Yeah, this guy. So he and his team, they all run Crypto Labs, and it's like how to invest your first $1,000 into DeFi, and they cover only concentrated farming. It's their complete complete thing. Everything is about concentrated farming, from advanced solutions to simple solutions, understanding the basics, understanding the advanced parts of it. Good channel. Very good. Very, very helpful.
How many subs do they have?
Like 26,000. Yeah.
Oh, so you got.
It's funny actually. This guy used to cover high risk, high reward DeFi back in the past, and then he got burned too many times, and he was like, "Fuck this, fuck it." So he just went 100% all in on concentrated liquidity farming and zero degen plays. He just went completely 180 on it. But it was the best thing for them because then he.
Have you talked to him personally? Have you talked to him?
Not for a long time, no. Not for a long time because my channel's it doesn't fit perfectly with his, because I swim a lot more in the high risk casino style lifestyle of crypto, right? But generally when people ask me how to learn about concentrate liquidity farming, this is where I would tell people to go, because it is, and a lot of people I've spoken to have even used his paid service and they've learned a lot from it. They got a lot of value from it, so it's a good thing. He's doing a good job. Nice.
There should be a crypto mischief paid service. You give too much alpha away for free.
Yeah, but yeah, true. Well, what they did was they built a whole team though. So they have I think 8 to 10 members. They have their own website with like a point system for like rewarding people who are farming well. A huge build behind it, actually. Very cool.
Let's do it.
See here, Josh, he says you earn rewards when it's going up or down. Yes. That's CL farming. That's the beauty of it, right? You always earn rewards. People are selling the coin or buying the coin. You're earning the rewards from the fees, which are generated from the token swaps. Exactly the same as Cetus, right? Cetus is exactly the same. You're in liquidity with, SUI Trump. Of course, you're getting incentivized with our airdrop system, but SUI Trump's going up or down in value. It doesn't matter. For me, it doesn't matter because in this pool, I have 2 tokens which I'm holding anyway. I've put them into liquidity. I want more SUI Trump. I want more SUI, whatever. I've just gone completely full range and I just collect the fees. So it's like today, $17 money. Boom. If I put the fees much tighter, the rewards would be much higher as well, because as we have high trading days, the higher the volume of SUI Trump trading, the higher the rewards there are to be collected in Cetus. Is how CL farming works.
Right on. Yeah, and we can edit this video for uploading to YouTube, so it doesn't really matter how long this AMA goes. I don't have a time limit myself. I don't know if you do. I think it'd be cool if you showcase your SCC club at least real quick. Show people about that, because I think that's really awesome what you did there.
We can do it in the next one. Don't want to make it overly long. We're already like 2 hour 15 minutes.
Sure. So
I gotta get to work.
I don't know if you've done these before, but after you stop recording, it'll show up in your saved messages in like 10 minutes.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, and then I'll post it. So Furley, it's you from all the questions asked. It's you can choose the winners, by the way.
Oh yeah. So what I was going to do about that was use ChatGPT to analyze the questions and have it decide what it thinks was the most constructive questions to be asked. So I don't know. Should I?
Your way.
But should I have to say the winners right now? Because that might take me a minute to do it like that. I mean,
no, you can just post afterwards. It's okay. Just and then I'll pin it, and then we can get the wallets of the winners.
Yeah. So with how I like AI so much and ChatGPT, what I'm going to do is upload the questions and ask ChatGPT, which do you think the most constructive questions were out of this AMA, and let ChatGPT decide. So that way I didn't, be unfair to anyone. And see what it comes up with.
Nice. Sure. Okay. Well, thanks everyone for joining, and we'll do this again soon. Like I said at the beginning of this, if you know any Telegram groups that you think are great and with real community and that you you think will really benefit Suitrump, I'm very, very interested in getting in touch with them to try and set something up. Yeah.
Right on. And I want to tell everyone to make sure to join the SUI X Spaces channel that I made, because it has information about the X live spaces, and I participate in those too. And if you guys didn't already know, I'm WiseDGen on X.com. I don't know if everyone knew that already. And does anyone else have anything else they want to end with? If not, we'll go ahead and end this AMA.
Nice. Yeah, I think I just forwarded your Telegram group into our one. Yeah, okay. That one. But without the logo.
All right. Yeah, I thought this was a great AMA. I think we should do these more often, and enjoy your evening or day or wherever you're located.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.